So welcome. Thank you for joining us today. And again, my apologies that we are starting much later than we anticipated. We should have started at 11:30. We just had another session which we were wrapping up. My apologies once again. And for everybody who's online, welcome to our open day. My apologies that we are starting later than we should have started this open day at 11:30. My name is Patience. I will be taking you through the ACCA qualification today, and I'll also take you through our study options as well. So from my side, maybe the first thing I need to check with you is what I plan to go through. And initially, the CEO was to take us through this qualification, and I think he's going to just join me after he's done with his session. So I will step into his shoes at this point. But however, my name is Patience. I'm the head of operations here at CharterQuest. The structure of what we plan to cover today, we want to cover the ACCA qualification. So we want to go through I'll take you through the overview. I'll take you through the ACCA qualification structure itself, and then I'll take you through our post-COVID study options. Obviously, any question and answers that we can discuss, and I will take you through the next steps, so what next after the presentation. I don't know if you have any burning questions that you came with, because that can help us address, maybe what I have in my agenda. We can adopt a few questions that you came with, for those who came physically. And for those who are online, please feel free to type in any burning questions that you have. What we will do is we will go through the questions together. Then I can obviously add it onto my agenda. Lesego, will you also let us know if there are any questions so I can add them in?
No problem, I'll do so.
All right. Okay. All right. So from our students who are here, no one has any burning questions. I guess maybe some may arise as I go through. And Lesego, do you have any burning questions that maybe we just need to hear? For those who are online, what are the key things that you said today? I want to attend the open day, and this is what I intend to make sure that I get answers on from CharterQuest, or maybe about ACCA.
Nothing as yet, but I know they're very eager, and I'm sure they'll come in as.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, so let me get into it. The way I'm going to start with this is I'm just going to give you an overview about the ACCA qualification. Maybe just to get a sense, you're an existing student, already an ACCA student. And are you already registered with ACCA? All right, so you are new to the qualification. So you probably also want to understand the qualification a little bit more. All right. Sir?
I'm registered.
You're already in the qualification. All right, that's great. So for us as CharterQuest, we start to offer the ACCA qualification from the applied knowledge modules, going up to the applied skills and to the strategic professional. So what I would say is, for students who probably have the minimum requirements, such as maybe you've got an advanced level qualification, you can start ACCA at your accounting and business, management accounting, whilst you go up the ladder. So that's mainly where we start from as CharterQuest also. I know ACCA has the foundations in accounting, but as CharterQuest, we are running classes for the applied knowledge module. And then we do have the applied skills, which then after finishing your 3 modules, you go on to the applied skills, which we know we then focus on our applied skills: corporate business law, performance management, taxation, financial reporting. And then after we finish this, we go to the strategic professional. And ACCA requires you, over and above passing these exams, you need to make sure that you've got the relevant work experience. So there is the 3 years relevant work experience you need to have to make sure that you qualify as a chartered accountant at the end of the day. And you need to also be ethical. So there is an ethics and professional skills module that you need to complete after finishing your applied skills or in the process, but before you go to strategic professional, you must complete this module. So it's also exams. So there are 3 E's exams: the work experience and ethics and the professional skills module.
With the experience, how does that put it this way? If one has already experience or you tried to sign off under a different government body, can it be moved over? Does it get considered or not at all?
All right. So the question I have is, if I have work experience that is already, let's say you probably have, let's say, SAICA articles, for example, and you are coming into ACCA and you want to use those. The good thing about it is, yes, you can. Only that ACCA has its own reporting format. So you will need to follow the ACCA reporting format to make sure that you complete your work experience the same way ACCA requires it. So that is the good thing about it. So you can use the work experience, or from your first job or everywhere you have started, you can then start using that work experience, and then you can use that as well. So you can use your work experience.
You just have to fill in all of on their format, in other words.
Yes, yes. So we are actually, we have Raymond. Raymond is from ACCA. He also can even help us with more questions that are aligned to the practical experience requirements. Raymond, how are you, sir? So the question that we have here was, if I have work experience from another professional body, can I use it with and when completing ACCA?
Yeah.
So I was just explaining that yes, you can. It's just that you need to submit it in the format ACCA requires it to be, and the format is accessible under my ACCA platform. Wherever then you go in, you put in your work experience. It should be verified, which then it sends. Maybe you can just take us through that process.
Yeah, basically what happens are 2 ways, right? The first one is what you explained, that may be required to think what the capture to take this. Other approach is that when you're considered, you've got information level system. That will be required. Something that is verified once confirmed and approved and done.
Right, so you can take your certificate you received, let's say from SAICA, and submit that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you won't have to go fill out everything again.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. And then if you are employed,
yes,
you're still working, you can study simultaneously with your PR. 1 or 2 weeks to complete. You can study simultaneously to your PR. What we then do is that we have a slide of your performance objective for PR.
No, I don't have that one. Do you have?
Yeah. So what you can basically do is that
Maybe you can go through the slide with us.
okay.
Because we do have some students who are also online. I'm sure for the
benefit of submission, you can only do that at the end. If one had to just wanting to submit the other professional body certificate, can you only do that at the end, or can you already now in order to get the certificate?
Now.
Is it?
Yeah. Like when as soon as you register with Charter Cost, you are done with it. Right?
Yeah.
The first thing that you can contact me and I link to other than clear your
requirement. Okay. Thank you.
All right. So are there any questions, Lesego, from maybe the practical experience requirements? Maybe if you were not hearing us, Raymond was just explaining that you are able to start compiling your work experience as you are studying. And this you can do under my ACCA. He will come through to show us the performance objectives just to also help the other students. Okay, I'll need to...
You have an adapter, let me see.
Is it HDMI?
Yeah, but it needs an adapter. You used to have an adapter.
USB.
No, this one too. You used to have an adapter.
Is an adapter they used to give you?
You used to have an adapter. Let's see this one, how it works.
This one is a very tiny one. Unless if we can maybe send them to me on my email, then I can project them here. Hi, Lesego.
Hi, Patience.
Do we have any questions at the...
Yes, we do. So we have 3 questions.
All right. We're going to take your questions whilst we are just getting the presentation from Mr. Raymond from ACCA. He will take us through the performance objectives on the ACCA qualifications. You can share the questions with us.
Okay. The first one says, my question in particular is which places, I'm guessing around the world, accept and acknowledge the ACCA qualification?
Okay. So which places around the world acknowledge the ACCA qualification?
Yes.
All right. I will leave that to Raymond to answer, maybe when he comes through. The next question.
Okay. Is it possible to branch from ACCA to SAICA?
Okay. I can take that, but I think I will also leave that to Raymond. It sounds more from the ACCA perspective.
Okay, no problem. The third one would be if you are already a university graduate with an undergrad degree, which level do you begin? So that would be Mr. Raymond as well, I think.
It says if you are from?
If you already have an undergraduate degree, which level do you begin?
Already, I think the exemptions process, maybe that I can, yes. That's the exemptions process, which I can take from my end. All right. So with the ACCA qualification, I think I can show you where we can start to do the exemptions process, which obviously other students who have just started have not, they've probably started with the process by doing their exemptions before they started classes. So I will show you the last question regarding your ACCA exemptions. So I will go on to the ACCA Global website. They have set up a very good exemptions calculator where you can actually put in your qualification, where you qualified from, and you will be able to get your exemptions. So as soon as you land on the ACCA Global website, we put in, we go on to students. We should find the exemptions. Okay, let's type in exemptions here.
Hi, Patience. Oh, he's setting up. Because I say they're not.
Can you see my screen?
No, it's not sharing
all right.
anymore.
I had shared it. Your screen. Okay. I think when I connected my projector.
Yes, now I can see.
Can you see the screen now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. So on the ACCA website, we'll go onto the ACCA website. We do have our exemptions calculator. So for a student who is starting ACCA, there is the ACCA exemptions calculator. So in this case, I'm not sure which institution the question or the student is coming from, but I will probably use maybe UNISA in South Africa. So when they go on to this, maybe you can share the link to the exemptions as well as Lesego. So you are able to see where you will start from. You go on to UNISA. Maybe these are the years. Maybe I'll just put in 2019 here. I qualified in 2019. Next. Then it will show you the courses that offer exemptions. And if you go in there, you can then see that you'll be exempted from these first 3 modules under the knowledge skills and then the foundations in accountancy. It says here, all foundation papers. So you can then start, you will know from here, you will be exempted from certain modules. So all the first 3, you will get exempted on, and the corporate and business law under the skills level. And then here it means that you can get exempted for AA if you have completed certain modules. So it will be important for you to have your transcript and make sure that you are mapping out which courses that you have done so that you get these exemptions. So this is very important because a number of students will just come through, they see all the modules and they say, oh, I get exemptions. So let's start to answer the question. I think our prospective students needs to go through the exemptions calculator, input their undergrad, and then we can maybe find out then how we can assist if they don't understand. But as long as they have their transcripts, they are able to done, they are able to get those exemptions. So that's more or less about the exemptions. I can leave to, is there a follow-up question?
Not to that one as yet. I think was having some technical difficulties. So I see he or she just dropped off, but they'll be back, I'm sure, and then they'll let us know.
Okay.
But there's one for CharterQuest, and it's from Douglas.
Okay.
And he says, is it possible to get assistance in valuation of the performance objectives from CharterQuest?
Can you get support on the
assistance in the evaluation of the performance objectives from CharterQuest?
Okay, all right. So as CharterQuest, we mainly focus on the tuition delivery as compared to focusing on the performance of the PER guidance. So on that note, I would say we don't have that support currently to support students with the performance objectives. But I guess maybe after Raymond explains or he will take us through those, maybe we might get a sense of how to do it, because it should be something that one can do coming through from their work experience, so they'll be able to map out how that works. So I think maybe let's see after this explanation if Douglas will probably understand what Raymond shares, or if there might be anything else that he needs assistance with, if that's okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
So Douglas says the question about the places he meant in South Africa, meaning in specific to South Africa, where should he become ACCA qualified, pertaining to employment, which areas and I guess institutions would accept his qualification and recognize it?
Sorry, I did not get that question. He's asking?
Remember, so it's a follow-up to the question from Douglas, which says which places in particular accept and acknowledge the ACCA qualification. He's saying he meant to say in South Africa, where should he, once he obtains the qualification, how would he then be assisted? Where would he then be employed? Because he's uncertain if we accept it fully in South Africa.
Okay, so if ACCA is accepted fully in South Africa, do employers recognize ACCA in South Africa?
Yes,
and upon qualification, how easy will it be for him to get a job?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you for that. Maybe Raymond, you might want to start answer maybe with their questions. Not yet. I guess maybe it's on its way, but I should get it now. Then that can help address. Yes. So Lesego has got. You want to start answering those questions maybe before we.
I'll answer the question
as you present. Okay, perfect. All right, Lesego, just give us one moment. Raymond will answer the questions as he's presenting.
Okay. Okay, no problem. Is he also connecting his laptop to the projector?
Sorry?
Will he also be connecting his laptop to the projector so we can see the slides?
Yes, he will be presenting on what he has.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Sorry, Lesaka?
Can you hear me now?
I was saying I can see this. I could see Raymond's slides moving, but we couldn't hear him. I hear him now.
You can hear me now?
Yes. So if you could just start from the first slide, please.
This one?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. What I was saying is that I'm going to take you through this particular 5 bullet points. ACCA glance, which just becomes a very summative outline of ACCA. ACCA qualification. I'll also deal with the exemptions. And that's where now we'll have far much more an in-depth discussion about the ACCA qualification. I'll also deal with the approved employer program. Now, when I'll be dealing with the ACCA qualification, I'll also touch on the accelerate, right? So that before the end of today's session, at least many of you should be able to finalize your registrations with CharterQuest, or within the few days you are able to conclude your registration with CharterQuest. We'll also deal with the practical experience requirement. The practical experience requirement, which is commonly known as in South Africa as articles. And also we'll talk about ethics and professional skills. I'll also deal with ethics and professional skills when I'll be presenting and talking around the ACCA qualifications. Right. Now about ACCA, as you know, ACCA stands for Association of Chartered Certified Accountants. It's a global professional body of accountants. ACCA offers a relevant qualification for the accountancy and finance discipline. By relevant, what it means is that ACCA does not prescribe you to be in the auditing space. So basically, you can become a specialist in any of the accounting and finance areas, right? A practical example, in the public sector, in South Africa, and also in Africa and many of the countries that are pursuing and have prioritized sustainable development goals, development and so forth. What becomes key for those particular areas or for those who work in those particular sectors, or you work for World Health Organization or United Nations and so forth. What becomes key, it's a deeper understanding of interpretation and approach and of the impact of finances in regard to performance management. So the impact of all this strategic formulation and intervention, and then speaking now as a financial professional, you must be able to interpret and articulate your finances or accounts in relation to performance management. Therefore, you are positioned to become a specialist in regard to institutional performance and impact in the society within the context of performance management. The same applies if you are speaking at the national government, provincial government, or at local government, or work for non-profit organization, right? Other companies also may have an interest in terms of performance management. I'm just giving an example of one certified accountant, a professional accountant, who chooses to focus on performance management as an area of specialization, right? Later on, I'll speak about data analytics, which is another additional performance objective or a technical performance objective added by ACCA. What did digitization do? Digitization, what it did is that it redefined the world of work. It redefined particularly the accountants and the finance discipline, in a sense that some of the professionals find themselves dealing with big data. And as a consequence, there are new emerging skills and knowledge areas that speaks to arising from finance and speaking to big data analysis, right? And as a result, others become specialists in terms of data analytics. Now you come as a certified accountant, then focusing yourself in terms of data analytics. What does that say also?
it tells us where the world is going. Because of IT and digitization have significantly impacted the world of work, has rendered a number of skills obsolete, irrelevant, and there are new emerging skills and knowledge areas and also occupations. Today in the morning, I was reading about Lanseria, which is targeted to become smart city. So smart city, in essence, is that when you enter that particular city, there is face recognition, digital instruments. So everything is digitized. The buildings, the robots, everything is connected into one system. So basically, that's where the world is moving. And ACCA basically, it is preparing and has already started to prepare certified accountants in that particular area. I'm just illuminating, I'm just expanding the aspect of ACCA qualification is relevant to every area of accountancy and finance. It accords you an opportunity to have the relevant skills. Now, another key point is that ACCA is a professional body that is research intensive. Now, by research intensive, currently we're also speaking about public sector wide digitization. And that is informed by research that the public sector being impacted by fourth industrial revolution and also what COVID-19 has done, has given digitization and impetus for now the world of work to move from how we used to work in the past and start to explore various IT and digital options that have been made available. So that's what ACCA qualification does. But also ACCA in itself, we are highly a digitized professional body where you can write your exams online, where you can study online. You'll see being part of a charter quest and part of ACCA that there are a number of learning interventions that are online based. So what does it mean is that universities or learning areas as traditionally known, right, are becoming irrelevant. Now institutions are redesigning and modeling themselves to give people access to education, people access to the qualification through using digital basis. Study and work wherever you want your career path to take you. I spoke about to specialize, but the other angle is that I spoke about computer-based exams. In addition to computer-based exams, is that now we are moving towards remote invigilation. What it means is that as time goes on, being registered with Charter Quest, you may not necessarily have to go to a specific building to write your exams. You can write your exams where you are, as long as that particular area will be approved by ACCA in terms of security measures, that it's a good environment to write exams. So you can study and work wherever you are. If it happens and you know that in June, you'll be in China or you'll be in Cape Town, you can opt to write your exams in Cape Town or wherever you are. So you're not bound, you're not confined. What is key and critical is that as long as you've got your laptop and access to the network. So that's the flexibility that ACCA provides you if you are employed or you are not employed, but you still want to pursue a path to become a certified accountant. ACCA globally, we've got 93 offices across the world. So what it means is that you can practice in more than 93 countries globally. So the ACCA qualification is not bound to South Africa, or it's not bound to a specific country. You can get employment and or practice if you want to open up your small practice as an accountant in any of these particular countries. There are more than 180 countries. 180 countries where ACCA it has got students and we have members in more than 180 countries. So what does it basically means that as soon as you become an ACCA student and also become an ACCA member, you've got a network of more than 180 countries where now you can translate it to business opportunities if you're an entrepreneur, right? And or you want to form part of a community of practitioners, CAs, and you interact with them around areas of common interest. We've got more than 8,500 employers. These are approved employers who include employers in South Africa and also globally. These are employers who employ ACCA members. These are employers or companies that provide an opportunity to students for them to do PER. These are also employers who support and fund their own employees or people to complete an ACCA qualification. We've got more than 500,000 students globally. We've got more than 500,000 students globally. We've got more than 200,000 qualified members. Now, the more than 200,000 qualified members, basically, what it means is that these are persons who are certified professional accountants or CAs. ACCA qualification recognition, we are part of IFAC, which is a professional, international professional body of accountants. In Africa, we are part of Pan-African Federation of Accountants, PAFA. In South Africa, we are part of QCTO, which is a council responsible to quality assure and approve occupation-related qualifications and trades. We know that the universities quality assurance council is Council for Higher Education. So all degrees that are offered by universities or universities of technology go to Council of Higher Education. But for professional bodies, you work through QCTO, and that's where we are active as ACCA. All our qualifications are registered and recognized by SAQA, the two qualifications. So if you do the two registered qualifications, they are recognized and registered with SAQA. FACET also recognizes the ACCA qualifications, and FACET goes further to fund and support employers and students who apply for funding to complete the ACCA qualification. What does it also mean is that FACET has considered ACCA qualification as falling in the scarce and critical skills and also used by the employers to resolve what is called occupations in high demand. And the occupation in high demand has been gazetted by the government that these are the occupations that are in high demand and hard to fill that are prioritized for funding. So FACET classified ACCA contributing to that qualification. What it then means is that you can approach your employer to support and fund you for an ACCA qualification by virtue that QCTO and FACET have recognition, and FACET also recognize the ACCA qualification as a scarce and critical, contributing to scarce and critical skills and occupations in high demand. These are the two ACCA qualifications that are SAQA registered. Right? Now, what does it mean? It means for you to complete the ACCA qualification, you must complete the 3 E's, which is you must complete all the exams, you must complete the ethics and professional skills module, and also you must complete the experience requirement, that is the 36 months PR. In South African language, you speak about articles. So for you to become an ACCA member, you must complete the 3. Now, I've said that the ACCA qualification, Chartered Certified Accountant qualification, is rated or graded as NQF level 8 by SAQA. So the level of complexity goes to that particular level. So I guess majority of you have got degrees, and therefore you will be starting either at applied skills level, or others will be at a strategic professional level, but we'll go through that. So I use this one. Okay. So I won't speak much about certified accounting technician, but certified accounting technician, we speak about it as in 2 forms. The same thing applies. It is a qualification, also it's a designation. So some persons who might be starting at the very first beginning, you can consider whilst you are pursuing to become a certified accountant or to do the ACCA qualification, whilst you are starting at foundation level, as an example, right? Or you're starting at applied knowledge level. On completion of applied knowledge subject, you might think that it might take you another 2 or 3 years to complete the remainder levels of the ACCA qualification. So a very smart thinking approach might be have a designation. Then you then progress and have a CAT designation. What it then means is that with the 3 applied knowledge subjects, then you proceed and do 2 exam papers, which will qualify you for CAT designation, plus you must do 12 months PR or articles, and you do the ethics. So that becomes a designation of a technician that is at NQF level 5. Because of you have already done the applied knowledge subject, you can then progress and continue to this ACCA NQF level 8 qualification. So I'm just, outlining and explaining that for some of the attendees who are not having degrees and who are starting the ACCA qualification at either foundation or applied knowledge level, that to think smartly, because of years down the line, you may run short of funds, you must pay for your fees, and then you don't have a qualification, you are still studying, you don't have a designation. So a smart approach might be, you have done the 3 subjects of applied knowledge level, write the 2 specialized papers of CAT, complete 12 months work experience, have a designation, and continue with your studies. Then you are able to get employment using your CAT qualification and designation. Now, South Africa has got a shortage of technicians. The reason that in most companies or in most sectors, your senior people have got challenges is simply because of, at the bottom of the system, most of the people, they don't have professional related qualification and competencies. So the feeder system at the bottom is compromised. So you've got, many of you are moving to become CAs, but does the system below have necessary people with necessary competencies? Because of these other people who capture records, who do transactions and so forth. And therefore they may need specific key professional skills and technical competencies, which then you get through the SCAT. Now, why am I emphasizing that? Is that also technicians are classified as scarce and critical skills in the country. So anyone who's got a CAT designation, you'll get employment because of it's in high demand also. This is just a demonstration of 2 levels that one can access the ACCA qualification, a foundation CAT. Another one is for people who don't have grade, who do not pass grade 12, who do not pass, who still have got grade 11, or a person who has not studied accountancy at all, does not have maths and accountancy at all, has studied bits of theology or history or geography, right? And the person says that, look, I've got interest on accountancy, but I'm not so sure because of I'm not good in numbers. You can use ACCAX as an entry point. So when you use ACCAX as an entry point, you do the introductory. It's for free, ACCAX online. It's for free. So meaning that you can type ACCAX, you get access of the learning material for free. But as soon as you say, I want a certificate, that's where you pay to write your exams and get certification. And you can do ACCAX anytime. You can access the system anytime because of its demand-driven, and you can write exams anytime in the year, right? Commonly it's 6 times in a year, but also because of it's a demand-driven, you can write anytime in the year, right? So you do your introductory, you access the learning material for free, you do introductory certificate, you pass, you progress, intermediate, you access again ACCAX resource material for free. When you want to write exams, you feel that you are ready, you book exams, you write your exams. So I believe CharterQuest is there to assist you with booking for exams. You book for exams, you write your exams, you pass. Now, as soon as you are at intermediate level, already it has demonstrated that now, to some degree, you've got that which is required for accounting and finance. Then you go and do diploma 3 subjects, F1, F2, F3, right? Then you enter the stream of certified accounting technician. Then from there, then you can progress to ACCA NQF level 8 qualification. So So ACCA has got a principle of open system and inclusivity, give access, people access to the qualification. Hence, it's flexible, and it does not confine you to spaces which excludes you to gain access to the system. Now, let's speak about the ACCA qualification NQF level 8. For you to become a chartered certified accountant, as I've said earlier on, there are 3 E's that you must complete. The first E is exams. You must do all the 3 exams. You must complete all the exams for all 3 levels: applied knowledge, applied skills, and strategic professional level, all of them. 2, experience, practical experience requirement, which is articles 36 months. As we have said earlier on, is that if you have done articles at another professional body, all that is required from you is to demonstrate the evidence, which will be then verified. By evidence can be primarily 1, a letter or a certificate that is issued by that professional body. And then ACCA will consider that and assist you to verify and load all the information on the ACCA system. And then your experience or your articles are signed off. And then you can focus on your exams for the subjects that you are doing. Ethics, we spoke about having done your articles with another professional body. If you are employed currently, you are working, and you are studying ACCA, or you'll be registering, I hope today or before next week, Friday, because of, I'll share with you nice information so that you register as early as now, and you're able to benefit from the special registration codes that I'll share them with you. But you must register like as early as now because of their in demand. If you are employed, you don't have to wait to complete all the subjects. You can study and do your PR. I'll give you a practical example, but let's note that you can study and do your PR or your articles simultaneously, as long as the work that you do is relevant to the accounting and finance role, right? So as long as it's relevant, so we are saying that it's still practical and possible for you to do your articles and to also study at the same time, right? So what does it mean? You are a student, simultaneously you are a trainee accountant, or you are an affiliate, if I use an ACCA term, right? So you'll be a student and affiliate simultaneously. Because an affiliate is a person who does nothing else but is focused on the articles, PR. Right? But now you are employed, so you'll be doing both simultaneously. Again, it demonstrates the flexibility of the ACCA system. Ethics and professional skills is another E, or the last E that you must do. Ethics and professional skills, commonly people do it as soon as they've completed their applied skills level subjects and they're about to start with a strategic professional level papers. Okay. So these are the 3 E's that you must complete. Let's go to the subjects. If you've got a degree or a diploma that is not accredited by ACCA, when you apply online, you also load all your academic transcripts. You also load your certificates as one batch, right, as one document. You load, you add them on the system, then you apply for exemption. Commonly, people with unaccredited qualifications, whether it's a diploma in finance or accounting or a degree in finance or accounting, they get exemptions at the applied knowledge level. So when we say diploma, it's commonly people from universities of technologies or UNISA, it offers a diploma. Right? So these are the universities that offers diplomas, your CUT, DUT, VUT, TPUT, and so forth. Right? These are those particular universities. You may be fortunate also to get additional exemptions at applied skills level. What does it mean? If you get 3 exemptions at applied knowledge and 2 exemptions at applied skills has got 6 subjects. So you get 3 applied knowledge, 2 applied skills, but it then means that at applied skills you'll be left with 4 subjects. Then you focus on the 4 subjects. Right. Now, as we said earlier on, ACCA exams are in March, in June, in September, and December. So if you are left with 4 subjects, you are studying with Charter Quest, what it basically means is that you can decide that, okay, I'm starting now in February. I would want to write my first exams in June for my first 2 subjects. And for the remainder 2 subjects, I will write them in September. So effectively, you are done with applied skills level, right? On the assumption that you pass, of course, right? You are done with applied skills level. You then progress to strategic professional level. So 2022, starting from December, 2022, December, and 2022 can be a year where now you focus on strategic professional level. At strategic professional level, there are 6 subjects. The first 2 at the top, strategic business leader, strategic business reporting, are compulsory subjects. And you've got an option to choose 2 from the bottom, from advanced financial management, advanced performance management, advanced taxation, and advanced audit and assurance. So from the 4, you choose 2. If you fail 1 from these 2 that you have chosen, right, you are only going to repeat the subject that you fail. So ACSA, you are not saying that you are doing 4 subjects, you fail 1, you repeat all of them. Right. You'll only focus the one that you failed, because of that's where you have shown that you need to work out some competency-related issues so that you get the required mark to pass the subject. So what we're basically saying is that if you get 3 plus 2, which is 5, you'll be left with 4, right? Effectively, it can take you 6 months plus another 12 months, 18 to 12 months, 18 to 12 months to complete the qualification. Meaning that next year, 2022, December, you come out of Charter Quest as a fully qualified, certified accountant. But also there must be some level of dedication, discipline, and planning of your studies. And if you are married, you've got kids, that's a department that must also be accommodated and managed in terms of your life, in terms of your lifestyle. Now, I spoke about exemptions. Let us speak also about the Accelerate program. Exemption also in relation to Accelerate program. Accelerate program is that you get exemptions. In addition to that, we give you a discount for some fees to pay less. And it depends where you studied your qualification. So each and every university, right, will have different registration code for the Accelerate program. So what the Accelerate program will do is that the fees will be around 1,006, 1,008 registration fees. If you are using the registration code for the Accelerate program, you are going to pay anything below 840 less. Right? 840 less for your registration fees. Right? And then for your annual subscription for this financial year, then it is waived. So don't pay annual subscription. You'll start paying your annual subscription in the next financial year. Thirdly, exemptions, fees. So when you're granted 5 exemptions, from the Accelerated code, from the registration code that we will provide you, you also pay less for your exemption, for the exemptions that have been secured and awarded. The 5 exemptions that have been secured and awarded, you must pay for them. So you don't pay the full amount because you are on the Accelerate program, right? What it then does is that more money is then saved for you. And that money can then be dedicated towards contact classes and so forth, so that you are able to focus on your studies and you are able to progress within a short space of time, right? And that is formulated by ACCAA because of, we know, the entire economic crunch and the pressure it has created for individuals and for families. So these particular models provide you with an opportunity to reduce a financial burden on yourself, to make access affordable, and also for you to be able to progress and accelerate and move. So that the whole concept that I've alluded earlier on, that you can complete the qualification in 18 months or less, can then become a reality. I spoke about unaccredited qualification. Right? Let's speak about qualifications that are accredited by ACCA. Qualifications that are accredited by ACCA, when you apply for exemptions, commonly you'll get 7 to 9 exemptions, meaning that you'll get all 3 applied knowledge exemptions, subjects, and from applied skills, you'll get almost all of them. If you are fortunate to get all 6 of them, right? Commonly, other people, they don't get exemptions for performance management because of most of the universities, when it comes to performance management subjects, their curriculum is not strong. So basically what I'm saying is that you are going to get 7 to 9 exemptions. And basically, if you get 7 exemptions, it means that you are only left with 2 subjects at applied skills. Then in June, you write the 2 subjects at applied skills. So it then means that in September, you can start with strategic professional level. If you are in the particular situation, theoretically or conceptually, by next year, June, you must be done with your qualification. Because of you can write 2 in June, and then in September, you write 1, in December, you write 1, next year, March, you write 1, next year, June, you write another 1, right? That can be one model. The other model can be 2 this year, June, 2 in September, 1 in December because of, the December fever. People can't focus and concentrate. Then in March, you write the last 1. So effectively by next year, March, you have done all the subjects. So the ACCA qualification helps you to model and for you to drive the rate of completing and writing exams. So, and again, the registration code, the accelerated program program still applies to those with ACCA accredited qualifications, right? Earlier on, Patience was taking you through the exemption calculator. What the exemption calculator will do, it just gives you a tentative picture of tentatively how many exemptions you'll get. And there's a part at the bottom that says conditional, right? Conditional, what it means is that for you to get this ACCA subject exemption, you should have done all this module of this university, right? And in that particular case, then it will list all the conditional exemptions or subjects underneath, right? And that gives you a picture. And when you apply, you load your academic transcript, you've got a dedicated team that goes through your academic transcript. Now, what becomes important, it's your first qualification, your degree or your diploma. And from there, other qualifications you have studied. So I usually advise people that when you apply for your exemptions, make sure that you include your first degree or your first qualification, your graduation certificate, and all other academic transcripts, and you submit them. So that the dedicated team there sits and look at everything that we have. And what makes that particular exercise important is that we don't partly submit some documents and later on you come and say, but I've done a postgraduate diploma, right? So that the team looks completely in the exemptions that must be awarded. What now? Okay. I spoke about this. This basically becomes a repeat of what I've explained about the fees, right? In a practical example is that 945 is the reduced amount, right? But with an accelerated code, as I've said, is that now you are then going to also have a discounted registration fee, which will be around 840 or less, right? And that will apply mutatis mutandis, meaning that it will apply in other subjects. The annual subscriptions, as you can see there, is £112. You multiply by 21 as a conversion, assuming that, of course, forex exchange goes to 21 rands per pound, right? You get the actual amount of money. But when you're on accelerate code, right, annual subscriptions are waived. So that £112 can then be directed to cover your contact classes with CharterQuest and so forth. Exemptions also, the same principle apply. I won't go through this. This is information, it's available on the ACCA website. I want to move quickly to the PR. PR, as we said, there are 9 performance objectives that must be completed within a period of 36 months. You can work anywhere as long as the role is relevant. What does it mean? We are saying that for you to do your articles, you are not compelled to be at an auditing company. You can do your articles in the manufacturing sector-based company, ICT, banking, in a non-profit organization, in the public sector. So you can work anywhere. What becomes important is that the role, your position in that particular company, right, in that particular institution, must be relevant to accounting and finance, so that you are able to fulfill the practical experience requirements. Quickly on ethics and professional skills, issue of ethics is a big issue globally. It's not a South African problem. Zondo Commission, maybe it will be a global phenomenon. We don't know. But what I'm trying to indicate is that ethics, it's a global phenomenon. Hence, STCA has gone further to have a dedicated ethics and professional skills module. It does not mean that the subjects that you are doing won't have a component of ethics and professional skills aspect. All subjects of STCA have got that element in terms of ethics and professional skills. So you will be assessed around ethical related issues across all the subjects, right? But in addition to that, there's a dedicated module of ethics and professional skills. And as far as we remember, and as far as we know, in South Africa, ACCA is the only professional body with a dedicated ethics and professional skills module, which is not a tick also, tick the box, right? It's a case study based system, which is also informed by research. By so saying is that the current ethics and professional skills module will have a significant component that speaks to COVID-19, which was not there in 2019, right? So it's also influenced by the current dynamics and development that are taking place. You know, in South Africa, people became millionaires out of PPEs, right? It questions the issue of procurement processes, but also it questions those who are within the entire system in terms of ethical behavior and ethical decision making as professionals, right? So it deals with those particular aspects. Now, how am I saying is that it exposes you to real business situations, but also it teaches you, basic soft skills which are lacking in most cases for professionals: problem solving, leadership, ethical judgment, teamwork, and personal effectiveness. There's a friend of mine who's a lecturer in one of the private institutions. He's heading a department, and he has had a high turnover in less than 2 years. So staff are leaving, right? And at some point, it turns out that it's not about people underneath. It's an issue of leadership to have necessary soft skill to work with people and emotional intelligence, right? How to handle difficult situation, and how to get staff to perform, how to get non-performing staff to perform and become happy about the work environment, and they become competent. It's a complexity of the work environment that as a professional and as you grow, you'll have to deal with these particular complexities. Back to PR quickly, we said the role of PR must be relevant. It can be in accounting, audit, financial reporting, insolvency, management, accounting, tax, and more. It can be in any organization or in any sector. You can fulfill this role part-time. You can fulfill this role in multiple roles. It might be through an internship. It might be voluntary. It might be in a partly relevant role. However, throughout this process, you are required to be supervised by a qualified accountant, and that particular qualified person may not necessarily be an ACCA member. It can be any person who belongs to a professional body and deemed or certified as a professional accountant or ACA. If your company does not have a professional accountant, you contact us as ACCA. office then will provide an ACCA member. So what the system allows is that you can have an externally supervised supervision, or PES, a practical experience supervisor who's external. What your line manager will do will just sign off time. Then the ACCA external supervisor will deal with the technical competencies. The 9 performance objectives are broken into 5 professional competencies and 4 technical competencies. The first 5 are compulsory because of these are the competencies that as a professional accountant you must possess because of you work in that particular environment. Example, on strategy innovation, you are either involved in strategy formulation or you're involved in strategy execution or implementation, one of the two. So you must be able to possess that particular understanding and you are able to manage that particular environment, whether as a person involved in strategy execution or strategy formulation, and also primarily complete your performance objectives. The 4 technical competencies, I won't go into details with these ones, right? But these are the 4 PER, performance objectives, where you'll be doing your articles. There are 7 categories: corporate reporting, financial management, sustainable management accounting. I spoke earlier on about data, digital and technology, advisory and consultancy, audit and assurance, and tax advisory. These are the 7 categories. From all these 7 categories, you can choose 1 or 2 or 3, right? Or you can choose 1 across all of them. As long as, if you are employed, you'll identify that in the job that I'm doing, which of these are relevant to what I'm doing, so that you pick up performance objectives that are relevant to what you are doing, and you are able to do your articles simultaneously. I spoke about the practical experience supervisors. As I've said, that there must be qualified accountants who sign off your performance objectives. Your non-qualified manager will just sign off time. The system of ACCA also allows you to have a second qualified supervisor to be nominated to sign off your performance objectives. Very quickly, as I've said at the beginning, that we've got what we call approved employers. These are companies that are having as an established practice trainee development category, where it means that this employer or this particular company support employees or support people to acquire the ACCA qualification. By saying support, it means that they give you access to resources. They also give you a leave to write exams and so forth. So ACCA has got that pool of employers. SARS is one of them. AGSA is one of them. And Deloitte and so forth. So there are a number in South Africa of approved employers. In actual fact, the numbers are growing, where we are seeing that small practices are also beginning to take up ACCA students or graduates into these particular programs. National Treasury from the government side and so forth, right? Professional stream speaks to employers who are supporting persons who are CAs for them to do continuous professional development, because of, as a standard and international practice, is that as a professional you must be up to date with developments within the profession, so that you are not lagging behind about the recently demanded and applied skills and changes within the profession. Lastly is practicing certificate development for those who are in the auditing and tax practicing companies. So these would be the 3 streams, and depending on the level of excellence, there's gold and platinum. So an employer can be in any one of these particular two levels. Lastly, as I've indicated throughout the whole process, that our system is flexible and is supportive to students. We've got approved learning partners. CharterQuest is our approved learning partners. These are reputable training providers accredited by ACCA to deliver the ACCA qualification. You can do the ACCA qualification part-time or full-time. There is also a self-study option. So whilst you're attending your sessions or your classes with CharterQuest, also be aware that there are online resources that are there that you must optimally utilize so that these two processes complement and support each other so that you are able to be a competent student and excel in your studies. These are our social media platforms. That's where you can gain access of ACCA South Africa Developments, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. Our offices are at 18 Allingham Road in Ilovo. You'll pardon me, I'm old class, I'm old school. Some people, they call it Ilovo. So Ilovo, that's where our offices are next to Rosebank. And yeah, that's the end of my presentation. If ever there are questions, we can deal with questions. I assume that the questions that were asked earlier, I get and address them. If there are still any questions, we can quickly deal with them.
I think we can start.
If one has achieved the 9 exemptions and the elected professional requirements, the professional modules, as well as the ethics, would you recommend that they start with the professional modules or that rather complete the ethics exams first?
Okay, so for the benefit of those online, the question is if I've got exemptions to start at the strategic professional, is it recommended that I start with the ethics module before going into the modules? Into the profession, to start with the modules in the blue area.
So we must start here. Yes. So is it advisable to start where? Yeah.
No,
doing the ethics and professional skills.
If you've got the 9, you still need to do the ethics and professional skills module. And the blue. So would you recommend that you do the ethics and professional skills module first and then move over into the other 4, or do the other 4 and then do the
Yeah, it's recommended that because of when you begin this, some of the areas, things that will be assessed on, they speak to that. So this, in a way, grounds some aspects that will start appearing in these particular areas, subjects. Yeah, it's recommended that as soon as you have done this or got exemption, start with this one. It takes a month less, right? Then it helps you to, yeah.
And talking back to the whole designation thing that you spoke about, someone that's coming through the ranks. But now, if you also, like mentioned, same scenario, you've got the 9, you can hopefully potentially get your exemptions on the PR as well. Do you then qualify automatically for that designation, or is that not? How does that work?
Okay, you qualify for 9 exemptions.
Yes.
Right. You qualify for 9 exemptions. So what it then means is that you've got the 3 subjects. You've got the 3 subjects, applied skills subjects, right? Which are the same subjects in a way, equivalent subjects for CAT, right? So automatically you qualify for CAT, right? All that you have to do is to write from the 3 subjects papers. You have to choose 2, right? And do your 12 months practical experience requirement, right? When you have done your 12 months practical experience in the ethics module for CAT, so it's ethics module, 12 months PR for CAT, right? And 2 specialized papers, right? When you are done, then you get the designation. So there's a document that will be sent to you, right? And then you complete that, then the designation is then awarded to you. Now,
you need that designation.
You need that designation.
Yeah.
Well, it goes from one individual to the other. You understand? It goes from one individual to the other. I can give a practical example. You have read that, a charter press in 2019. There's a young man who said that he had exemptions, but he started a small practice. Because of there's an issue of reputation. Now, people, when they come, they say, we want you to do my books. The question is that, who are you? Right? You can't say I'm still studying. Right? They are interested at a designation. For him to complete this and become 2 or 3 years, right? Then he then said that what he's then going to do because we've got this particular, it's got, yes, F1, F2, F3, right? Applied knowledge subjects, right? It's going to focus at this, right? So in less than 2 months, he writes the exams for this, right? Because of already he's got a practice, it's easy for him to complete the 12-month requirement, right? And then he writes the ethics. And that can be done within a short space of time, then he's got a designation. So it's driven by this need because of we have seen an opportunity that there are small and medium companies that are struggling with their finances. And then once you close that particular space, based in equivalent. So it's driven by that. So
and those 12 months FPR, is that different it's different from the other PR that you require for the.
So basically, as soon as you've got this, when you progress, they are different in terms of the detail, right? However, when you progress to charter certified accountant, right, the 12 months is then deducted from the 36 months. You'll be left with 24 months. Yeah, so it don't start from 0 base.
And
then, yeah.
For the strategic professional. Yeah, definitely. So, you know, it says options to choose. If you have a postgraduate diploma, you can't get an exemption for any one of those.
No, that's strategic professional don't give exemption. It's equivalent to what you call board exempt. Right? Equivalent to what we call board exempt. International practice is that you can get exemptions here and at this level. But when it comes here, even if when it comes to another professional body, right, you can get your articles here less than a month, you can get exemptions, right? But then you'll be required to do ethics and professional skills, and you'll be also required to do strategic professional level papers.
The ethics and professional skills.
No, just try and recapture the question before you answer. So that those who are online will know the question you are answering.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't think when they ask the people online, they don't know what you are answering.
Let the different voice get right.
All right, but they were saying they were hearing it, but it's not very loud.
Yeah, you just rephrase the question.
Okay, the question is, if you've got a postgraduate diploma, will you be granted exemptions for strategic professional level papers? That was the question. The answer then is, right, the international standard practice that even if when you come from a professional body, right, strategic professional level is equivalent to board exams. So meaning that you must write ACCA board exam. So when you come to CharterQuest, it prepares you to write for the board exams of ACCA.
So you can't be exempted.
You can't be exempted. What do you mean? Yeah.
So the option is if I have a postgraduate diploma, I can't just write the exam and say I have to do the whole module exam.
Well, are you from that? I could tell by the question. The choice is yours. Yeah, the choice is yours. If you wake up and you say that, look, I can write the match exam because I've done this, right? You can go for it, but the questions are ready, right? You can go and try mock exams and so forth and assess yourself, right? If you have the confidence that you can put how much, 5,000 to write one paper and then you fail, it's a risk that you are willing to take. The decision is yours. You know? But in most cases, I advise students that in as much.
What's the issue with VET? What are you saying?
VET offers a postgraduate diploma that is based on ACCA. So VET has got a postgraduate diploma in professional accounting,
Which directly addresses that.
which speaks directly to that.
I see.
Right. So meaning that
I've got the knowledge.
She has done all these subjects. So this can become a revision process where now you are dedicated and focused on.
Hope that answers your question. All right. So, Lesego, maybe you can capture for us, for students who are online, their questions. Lesego? Or is it similar?
Yeah. Hi, Patience.
Hi, Mary. All right. Do you have any questions
Yes.
for Raymond before we start our part of the presentation?
Okay, there was this person. He said, if I run my own business, can this account for PER?
Sorry, Mary, we can hardly hear you. You might be a bit louder?
Okay. He said, if I run my own business, can this account for PER?
Yes, you can. If you run your own business, can you use the work that you do in your business as part of fulfilling your PR requirements? Yes, you can. What becomes important is that what you do in your business, in terms of the task and the duties that you do, must speak to the PR particular requirements, technical objectives, and professional objectives. I mean, if you are a business, you are running your own business, you are having stakeholders that you must manage. You must formulate a strategy for your business. At some point, you are forced to become innovative. There's governance issues in terms of your compliance with Companies Act, as an example. There are also governance issues in terms of your structures of governance and other aspects of governance. There are risk-related issues and control. There's an aspect of leadership and management. So those are becomes of professional related objectives. There are technical, right, and it can be any of the seven categories. But one thing for sure in that business, there is record and process of transactions and events. So basically, yes, you can.
All right, Mary, who asked the question?
Maybe just address the fact that since it's your own business, you mustn't forget that the qualified accountant, maybe the auditors for the business, will need to sign off that experience because he can't sign his own experience. Say it's my business idea.
Yeah.
Maybe just flesh out
that part. Yeah. So yeah, there's one technical thing. That since it's your own business, you would need a person who will sign off your time. That's one. So equivalent to a line manager. So either the company that does your audits or your finances can do that. And in addition to that, you're also going to need a qualified accountant who will be your PS, practical experience supervisor. And if you don't have it in your company, then ACCA will provide one for you.
All right, Mary.
Yes.
Okay. Mary, who asked the question about PER?
It was Juanita Azan.
Oh, Juanita, okay. I guess if you've got a follow-up question, you can please post, then Raymond can address it. If you are happy, also let us know if the question has been addressed. Mary, do you have another question?
Hi, questions. Douglas Mlowski. Can Raymond go back to the questions we asked at the beginning?
At the beginning, all right. I think Lesego had gone through those questions. Lesego, do you mind to just capture for us those first questions?
Okay. So the first one that was asked was about the ACCA accreditation being recognized in South Africa and work related. I know he spoke about it during the presentation, but maybe because Douglas just wanted a little bit more detail on how it is accepted in South Africa. Okay. If you want work.
Yeah, let's deal with that. Well, we have addressed the issue that ACCA qualifications are registered with SACO. Right? And also QCTO, Quality Council of Trade and Occupations, and also FASEC. And the recognition, goes to an extent that we've got a student at VETS here whose qualification is aligned to ACCA. There are many students. So it goes to an extent that there are a number of universities that have mapped their qualifications to speak to ACCA, right? Given the level of recognition and value and the high standards of ACCA qualification. You speak about VETS, you speak about UJ, Rhodes, Stellenbosch, Nelson Mandela University, Northwest University, the list goes on, right? And many other universities are coming on board. In terms of academic institutions that are highly established and that recognizes the ACCA qualification, its flexibility, and also in terms of the professional and technical skills it provides. Let's come to the issue of employers. As I've said earlier on, that we've got people employed by Auditor General South Africa, we've got people employed at the National Treasury, we've got people employed by Deloitte and many others, SNA and so forth, right? Currently, we are running a project that involves 258 people drawn from municipalities. It's a 3-year project, huge amount of money in that project, right? 3 years. So every 3 years, on annual basis, we'll be taking people in municipalities to train, to become and build the necessary professional and technical competencies that are highly demanded in the public sector. We are in discussion with the Northern Cape Office of the Premier. They also agree in principle that they want to have ACCA on board. We are also finalizing discussions with the Limpopo Office of the Premier. By the way, also, the Chief Finance Officers of Limpopo and Northern Cape are ACCA. The CFO of the city of Johannesburg is also ACCA. I can go on and on and on in terms of practical examples, right? Gauteng Department of Infrastructure Development also is considering and will be finalizing a process to have their employees. By virtue that they say qualification, we give people an opportunity to specialize on areas that are highly demanded. So what I'm saying basically, beyond recognition, is that yes, it's a growing professional qualification. Actually, it's growing at a faster rate. I'm sitting with more than 248 people who have started registering for the ACCA qualification. And this is a database generated in a period of 2 weeks, right? So, yeah, I hope that will be enough. I don't know what more I can share with you. There are a number of companies that you can Google search, a number of companies across all sectors that have started to recruit ACCA members or people with ACCA qualification and designation. What is important is that people must not do part qualification and leave CharterQuest with part qualification and say, look, I'm studying ACCA, can I be employed? And they then say that I don't get employment because of ACCA. No, complete your qualification. CharterQuest is there, we are there to provide support to you. Complete your qualification. But going beyond the mindset of seeking employment, there's a high demand of people to render a number of services as independent, having your own practice in the country. Explore that particular option also. And the ACCA technical objective, the professional insight, providing those particular focal areas. I mean, business advisory is a technical objective, and also digital analytics also is another. I hope that answers the question.
So to Douglas.
Douglas, if you can send a follow-up question to that if there is a need for clarity. I recall there was another question because I answered the exemptions one.
Yes. He said, is it possible to get assistance in valuation of performance objectives from CharterQuest?
Okay. I think we had answered Douglas there.
Yes.
If we now understood, because I think we had said that we were going to take them through the performance objectives and what we needed more clarity on or support on exactly.
So performance objectives will be supported by ACCA office. We usually convene on quarterly basis after every 3 months. We convene what we call PR sessions. That's where you come under one roof. Currently, they are virtual, and you are provided in terms of how we technically compile and complete and load your performance objective on my ACCA, or my experience, my ACCA, my experience portal on online system. We've got a dedicated person in the office to provide support for that. In addition to that, there are ACCA members who are available to provide support to you. So that is not an area per se of CharterQuest, but it's an area where ACCA as a professional body provides dedicated support to you as an affiliate or as a person who's doing a performance objective.
Question, how do you know the booking or the attend the performance objective?
Okay, if you are interested, those who are interested, they can drop an email to me and I can bring them up. Yeah.
So we will share Raymond's email address so that everybody will probably need assistance with the performance objectives or attending the sessions, they can contact Raymond and we will link them to the respective person at ACCA. I hope that answers Douglas' question, and I think we may have captured all the first questions that we had before Raymond started, right?
There was one more where I think it was where he says, since I've asked him just to clarify, because he just says, since there's only 5 which are compulsory and 4 are optional, won't that diminish your CV? So I'm trying to.
No, it won't. It won't. In actual fact, the 5 preferential objectives plus when you look at the strategic professional level paper, strategic business lead and strategic business reporting, what they then do, they transform you as a certified accountant to possess the management skills, management leadership skills that are commonly acquired through a MBA program. So basically, it elevates you above number crunching. You understand, right? So in essence, then it positions you to be in a position to manage and run and lead a unit, a division, and a business. Right? And it's proven that people who possess only technical skills or competencies, they tend to lack significantly when it comes to business and leadership demanded competencies. Right. You can go and check also on any advert for any job, for any occupation that seeks a person with a professional qualification or an accountant, amongst other things. They'll want you to manage people. They'll want you to manage a department or a unit. You'll be required to manage clients, right? You'll be required to be involved in strategy formulation, right? These are management, leadership, professional competencies that are commonly not provided in most of the professional qualifications. So it does not put you at a disadvantage, but it puts you in an advantageous position because of as soon as you go into a work environment, you already know that you're going to work with people who are prepared with necessary competencies, soft skills, to manage people, to manage horizontally, diagonally, and vertically. So you are well positioned as a person. So you are not being put at a disadvantage. In actual fact, it can also be argued that you'll be able to perform competently and at par with a person who's got an MBA. The one with an MBA is going to have a text on paper, right? You are going to have the necessary competencies because you'll be able to demonstrate them. That's the strength and how far the ACCA qualification takes you.
All right, Mr. Fox. I hope that addresses the question on your side. We can move on to the rest of the questions. That's going to, we have only answered one from Unita. Are we going to have more questions?
Yes, these are mainly for you.
All right. So can I maybe go on to my presentation? There's nothing more for Raymond.
No, from what I'm seeing, let me just double check the last time. How long?
Okay.
I think there's one that
No.
I saw from Said asking, can I study with CQ before registering for membership with ACCA? Then register at a later stage. Please advise.
And it doesn't study if you haven't not registered with ACCA. No. No, as soon as you register with CharterQuest, you'll be registered as a student with ACCA. So you'll appear in two integrated systems. The CharterQuest system as a CharterQuest student, also in the ACCA system as an ACCA student who's going to write exams somewhere in the course of the year. And CharterQuest as an approved learning partner provides you with necessary support for you to be ready for exams, right? That's the process of being a student. On completion of exams, you pass all your exams, you've completed your PR, right? Then that's when now you are awarded the status of being a member. And that comes automatically. As soon as you've completed your PR, as soon as you've completed your exams, as soon as you've completed your ethics, then automatically the system will drop an email to you complaining that congratulations, now you are a chartered certified accountant.
Thank you, Lesaka. So if there's nothing, can I take the...
Can I just come in? I suspect it might be risky to the person who asked that question. Maybe I should just beef up what Moderman said. When we take you to prepare you, we already made the assumption that ACC has accepted you. So just get that clear. If you say you want to do strategic business professional with us, the presumption we have as CharterQuest is that ACC has gone through, has already accepted your exemption. You are indeed allowed to do that model. So if you are asking whether you can start with CharterQuest and then end with ACC, although the two interlink, the simple answer is no. Ideally, start with ACC. You don't want to be teaching you strategic professional only to find that ACC does not even permit you to do that module. So ideally, start with ACCA, get your exemptions, be dead sure that ACC has allowed you to go straight to strategic professional level. Then, when you come to us, it becomes easy. We say, okay, we are now doing strategic business leader, which is one of the strategic professional modules. You already know that ACC has accepted you. We are just preparing you to go write that exam that ACC has long accepted. Actually, so let's just get that clear in terms of which one comes first. Ideally, ACCA first.
Okay. Now, I'm about to abandon the stage. My last words is that Patience will share with you my email address. And I will share with you, those who are interested, the registration code so that can get discount. Now, this is how it will work. You're going to get the register. No, you're going to get when you send me an email, please specify. I'm Raymond Kahudi. I was part of the virtual CharterQuest information session on this day. I have completed my diploma or degree in this at this university. Specify the name of the university and specify the year, right? With this information, then I will respond to you with a registration code and how do you go about to complete the online application. As I've said, is that the units that are left that have been depleted on daily basis. So in as much as the due date is the 8th of February, I will encourage you that you must make sure that you register before this week Friday. Because of we are competing with 284, 248, 84 people who have attended close to 3 sessions and will be registering. Right? So make sure that you register now. My advice also is that instead of you budgeting to pay for the registration fees and for the exemption fees, which becomes a huge amount of money, right? The smarter way is to do the following. Just have registration fee first. so that when you get a registration code, you register online and you got access of my ACCA. When you got access of my ACCA, then you see the number of exemptions that are granted to you. Then you can start moving to another stage now of planning that you pay for your exemption and you plan for your exams. Then you come to CharterQuest that here's my student number, I'm ready for classes, right? And these are the exemptions that I got. So I'm starting at applied skills level or strategic professional level, right? So that's basically what I would advise. So that don't send me an email that says that I was in CharterQuest. My name is so and so, right? You are in CharterQuest, the qualification that you studied, and your name, right? And the name of the university, basically, more important, the name of the university also. Then I'll drop you an email. Now, that email cannot be used across all universities. That code, a code is university specific, right? So you cannot use a code of UNISA for UJ, right? Because of it's aligned to the qualification that you study. Thanks. All the best.
All right. Apologies that we are running behind time. We got here to me about 12 minutes ago. So I will take the next 10 to 15 minutes to take you through CharterQuest study options, and I think I will just go back to the circle. Please confirm if you can see my screen. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can see it fully.
All right. So I think we addressed point 1 and point 2, the CharterQuest, the ACCA qualification, the overview, and Raymond took us through the ACCA qualification structure. So I'll just take you through the post-COVID study, what our study options are. I'm sure they will also have a lot of questions there to address. We will also see what are the next steps that we can take. So this is what we have already addressed. I know Ms. T was not here, and Raymond has covered a great deal about the qualification. I have 10 questions. So Ms. T will be able to take questions there. And then, so I will skip through this because that has been addressed already by Raymond. It's just that it was addressed on a different slide. And then, so here we are going to talk about the face-to-face campuses. We have the detailed study packages, prices for self-funded students, what are the options that you have, our payment plans, the timetable, CBE exams or bookstores. I think ACCA exemptions has been addressed by Raymond as well. So we can also go to the last point of getting a quotation. So to make this easier, what I would do is I will use our CharterQuest website so that you can also at any time be able to come through to see or check these before you make your decision. So I know at this point we are still also trying to make a few decisions. So when you come to our website and you go to the ACCA section, you will then get more about the qualification, which is what we have already gone through, so I'll not take you today. New to ACCA, that's what Raymond took us through as well. And if you want to find that exemptions link, when you come to new exemption, to ACCA, click here. It will take you to the ACCA website where you can check for those exemptions. And then I will start with the face-to-face fees for CharterQuest. So we do have our TAP package. Let's say you want to attend here at campus, or you want to live stream at maybe some days when you're unable to make it to campus. You also have that option. So at the same time that class runs, if you are not at campus, you can take up a live stream, or the recorded video of that class, which will upload on the student portal. So these modules, each per module is $6,250. However, if you're a self-funded student, if you take advantage of our combo discount here, you then can pay $4,375 per module. If you are taking our combo 4, but it depends. If you're taking 2 modules, again, you get an allocated discount for that. Our SBL module is $13,800 under the same TAP package. So you will get 7 to 9 full tuition classes for that. It's 3 hours per session. I'll just show you how that works. And then you get 3 exam preparation or revision classes after the tuition classes. So when you're on our website, I think we have Hello. Oh, you can see me, right?
So sorry, patience.
So is the support?
Hi, may you please just share the website again because we're not seeing the website.
Okay. Please confirm once you can see.
We go, we can see it. Perfect, thank you.
All right. So I'll just start over. I'm not sure at which point you lost me, but if you're on our website, you come through to the ACCA section, and then we went through on you to ACCA. You click on the exemptions calculator for those who would want to check their exemptions, and then the fees section. This is where I was. So we do have two intakes: February intake and August intake. I think I might have just skipped that. So the February intake is the one that we are in now. Classes will start in March, early March. So just after the first exam week in March, classes will start. You can then sit for the June or the September exam. So that's what this intake will be focusing on, June or September, and then there will be the August intake, where you can then, the classes will start early September, just after the exam week. Then you can write exams in December or in March. So ACCA has 4 exam seasons. But as CharterQuest, we currently only have these 2 intakes, but they can help you take your September or June exams or the December or March exams. So that's the good thing there. So I was just taking you through the TEP package, which we also said that the payment terms, you can pay 20% deposit, balance over 6 months. Our package is for 375, which is the TEP package, evening or weekend. You can live stream again if you can't make it. 7 to 9 tuition classes, 3 exam preparation classes. I just opened a structure so you can see or mirror this. So this is for a student, for example, if you want to do AAA, which started. You will attend 4 tuition classes up until the 1st of April. You see, we start on the 11th of March. There will be a break, and then you do a test 1. So this test will cover what you have done in the first 4 tuition classes. And then it will make sure that you are ready. So during this test 1, it will be more to test the knowledge of what you have done, maybe the first 50% of the syllabus for this module. And then you continue class 5, 6, 7, then you do another test 2. Then there is an exam preparation class where we revise these 2 tests. Now we are in exam preparation mode. We are done with the syllabus after your tuition class 7. So you will then do your exam preparation class 2, which we then, before that, we would have given you a mock exam. So this is a full standard ACCA mock exam, and everything is online. The same system or the same format you do your online exams, whether it's the remote exam or the center-based online exam, is the same way we'll give you this mock exam. So you do your mock 1, we come back, we revise it. There's another mock, which is mock 2. We also revise it in the last class. So the purpose of this is that by the time you're done with this qualification, or I mean with our classes for this module, you would have done 1, 2, 3, about 4 assessments, right? Which 2 would be standard mock exams, and then the first 2, this will be half the exam time. So this will be 1.5 hours, this will also be 1.5 hours. So just to make sure that as you're going through with the content, are you getting it, and then you start applying that in the classroom. So when you look at our ACCA classes or the structures for the TEP package, you can see that we've got 7 to 9 full tuition classes. So some modules like PM, for example, will have more classes than other modules. 3 exam preparation classes, which are these 3 classes now that you will be revising and doing a lot of exam techniques there. Video recorded classes. So we will record all the classes. So if you miss it, if you don't attend the live stream, you will get access to the video recorded classes on your student portal. The books that you get under this package. So you will get the hard copy textbook. So we use Kaplan in the classroom in our teaching, so our slides and everything. So then you will get a Kaplan study text, which you will carry through or you come with to class when we are doing all these tuition classes. And you will get the Kaplan revision, or they call it Kaplan practice sheet, with a lot of questions. So it's a lot of exam questions that they're broken down per chapter. So after your first class, you may want to go back and then there's the PPP practice and revision kit, which we also give our students. It comes through with the check package on. So this is a bonus that you currently have. If you register, you want to do a lot of questions to prepare yourself for the final exam. The tests and the mocks that you get. So you see here, you get 2 CBE progress tests, you get 2 CBE final mocks. Those are the 4 that you saw on the timetable as I was showing you. So the 2 progress tests and the 2 mock exams. And then if you come back here, you get the benefits, you get your home study kit or the scheme of work. So this is more of a chapter breakdown of what you cover per day. So tuition class 1, if you're going to say, okay, here we're going to cover chapter 1 and 2 of your Kaplan study text, that's what you get. So you know if you're going to miss class 2, what exactly they covered or what you need to maybe catch up on the recorded video. So that's the good thing about that. So we give you that as part of our package. You get the student e-course notes. These are printable. So these notes, they mirror the lecturer's slides. So you'll be able to follow those slides and input on those. Interactive online support. So you get support from our lecturers. We'll put you in WhatsApp groups. You can ask questions, and then student support. The admin team is also always there. You get 1-year access to your student portal. So in case you don't make it for the first exam teaching, we've got an option for the next one. We obviously don't want you to do one module for the rest of the year, so we'd encourage you to utilize the courses and take your exam as soon as possible, or maybe in the next exam series, so that you can just progress. And let's say you finish the qualification by 2022, as what Raymond was just saying. So we do have our EPOP option, which you also have an option to live stream or attend in person. We call it the exam preparation only package. It's evenings or weekends, so depending on your module, you just need to check. So this only comes, if you look at it, here you have 7 to 9 tuition classes, but here you don't. You only have this, the 3 exam preparation classes. So when you're coming to us, you are just focusing here on, meaning you are only joining us during that phase when you're just doing exam prep. So let's say you're doing FM. It runs on a Tuesday in the evening, 6 to 9, 3 hours. It then means you're only joining us for these 3 classes, and then you're going to do these more. So that's the class structure of this exam preparation package. If you want to choose that one, you get recorded classes which are for the exam preparation classes only, excluding tuition. Then you get the same, the 2 CBE final mocks that you get in your portal, and you get interactive online support again and the 1-year access. So that's the difference between what we have as our tuition exam preparation package and what we have as our exam preparation only package. For somebody who probably, maybe you've done it before, or you prefer to just do tuition on your own, you want to have your own books, you just come to us for exam prep, that's also an option. If you choose our check package, it then comes with our first-time pass guarantee, which we say, if you have attended all your classes, you've done all your mocks, you've taken enough time to study before your exam, your final ACCA exam, that's when then we then say, okay, you at least you can pass this exam first time. If you don't, we can take you back into class. We can even give you a future discount on your future courses, which would be up to 10% discount. So we really encourage our students, while coming to class, do your part. If you have questions, interact with the lecturers, attend all your classes. Don't just log in and let the lecture go. Participate, ask questions, prepare beforehand, before the class. After the class, go back and use those exam practice kits. This is the face-to-face, more or less, option with a live stream. We do have the online classes option. I will come back to SBL. So the online options again, these you can register anytime. That's the good thing. So if you want to start today, maybe at your own pace, you can then aim for the June or September exam. The only challenge is that the live stream interactive runs on a schedule. So you will need to join the classes. And it's just like our PEP package. Everything is the same. The only thing that is different from this package is you do not get the hard copy books. You get e-books. but you can upsell to get hard copy books over and above. So it's just the same as our test package. The price, you can see the structure of our classes is the same, and the only difference is that you will not have, you will not physically be at campus, but you can log in from wherever you are and you'll be able to participate in the class. You still get the same GTP practice kits, the 2 progress tests, the final mock, everything else as the test student. We have what we call the recorded video classes. So this is a package for a student who probably doesn't want to interact with a lecturer. You want to study at your own pace. Maybe you've got a different schedule. So you just get video recorded classes, tuition classes, and exam preparation classes. You get the books, only that you do not get the BPP practice kit. However, it's ebooks as well, but you can upsell for hard copy books during the registration process. You get the same 2 CBE mocks and also the 2 progress tests. You are able to get them marked by a lecturer, and then the lecturer will send you feedback. So on our CBE platform, where you check all these tests, the lecturer can comment, and then you can see your script. So we have dates when we run these. You get communication, but once you register with us, you get access to those as well. You get interactive online support, and you get the same duration with which you can access the course, and you get student support as well. Then there is the last package, the videos and the e-course notes. So this package is for somebody who probably you have all the books, maybe questions, you've got access to a lot of questions, you just want to get the video recorded classes, both the tuition classes and the exam preparation classes, and you get the students' e-course notes, which you just, they mirror the lecture slides on the tuition classes, so you'll be able to follow. So this is also available for all the ACCA students, and SBL is a little bit expensive for what you see there. It's 1,500 instead of the rest of the modules, which are at 760 per module. So these are our online study options, and I showed you the face-to-face option. And just before I leave this page, there's the SBL classes. So if you're starting with your strategic business leader, so you with this course is I'm sure if you knew before, it used to be P1 and P3, they've combined it to the one module, which is in some form of a case study exam that you do, and you get about a few questions around it, and you need to answer also in the same CBE format that you answer the other questions. So this CBE, the SBL course, the way Charterpress delivers it, we've got 3 phases. So there is the first phase where we do the pre-reading. We give you certain case studies, the first 5 case studies from ACCA you need to go through before our course. And then after that, there's the tuition phase where we now go through chapter by chapter, which is now about 4 classes over a 7 hours period. Sometimes we even extend if students need more time. And then we go on to the exam preparation revision phase, where we also offer you about 4 contact sessions. We do a lot of questions during that time. You also get your mock. So SBL is just delivered differently because of the nature of the paper, and we do a lot of case studies in that process. That's our SBL module. So I'm not sure if there are any questions around our part-time, the face-to-face, online classes before I move on to the rest of the other support areas that we have. No questions? Okay. All right. Lesako, do we have any questions online?
The question was, are contact classes available for both part-time and full-time students?
Okay. So currently, we are running all the ACCA classes part-time. The full-time classes, they've just not been as demanded, or the interest for those has been quite low. So ACCA students have been joining with the part-time students at once. However, yes, we are doing face-to-face classes. And what we have done is going now into this year, because of all the COVID restrictions, our classes will be limited up to 7 students per class, and the lecturer, 6 students, and then the lecturer will be the 7th. So it will be a maximum of 6 students in class. We will be doing face-to-face, and our face-to-face classes, they run from Livonia, and there are some modules that run from Parktown campus.
Okay.
I hope.
Yes, I hope Mpho asked that question. If there's a follow-up, Mpho, just let us know. The second one was, I have 2 strategic modules to complete. I will be taking the online classroom as I always travel and it's not possible to attend class physically. Will I experience live classroom experience? How will my interactions be with the lecturer?
Okay, that's a good question. So when
of course you will experience that. Well, you can call what is going on now a live classroom. There are people right in front of us who are like face to face, and you are online. We are teaching to the people face to face. You are hearing us. You are asking your questions. So yes, you will experience live classroom, especially if you join the live stream module. It's the same thing. Whatever is happening, once we've kept 6 people in class. If the 7th person comes, we can't put the 7th person in that class because of COVID. So from the 7th onwards, you would be online. So you would hear the classes. We've implemented new touch screens here to make sure even when we scribble something on the board, it is also showing on your screen. So yes, you have the full live classroom experience. You'll be able to ask your questions just like you're doing now. I understand, other than asking through person, we connect us directly so that everybody can.
Yes. So if you have joined the meeting, you are able to unmute your microphone. So the setup for classes is quite different from what we are having now. So it will just be like your normal Zoom meeting or anything where you can unmute and ask the lecturer questions during the class. So the interaction, the means of interaction can be maybe sending a message in the chat box or unmuting your microphone and asking the lecturer the questions in the live classroom.
And then if you say you are too busy, you can't attend physically, because the live classes are scheduled. They are scheduled. Let's say it's scheduled on Monday, you are not in town. But also you might not be in town, but even that Monday, 8 to 9, you can't log in because you're in some other meeting. Obviously, that's where the recording comes, because everything is recorded. And within 24 hours of the end of the class, it is loaded on the portal. So that if you miss that live session, you can at least go back and download what happened, you follow through all the classes. The difference is that you might not be able to ask a live question because the class has been recorded, but then you can then send through your questions for your lecturer who cover that class to help you catch up. Yes.
Lester, I hope that has answered the question. Sorry, you didn't tell us who asked the question.
So that one was for Irvin.
I hope Irvin has been answered, and maybe if there's any follow-up questions, maybe he can ask. I'm glad he joined.
So we have one from Mpho. Yes. This is about the course. So Mpho said that he or she is actually a WITS graduate, right? So it says WITS University has a postgraduate program called Postgraduate Diploma in Specialized Accounting, which you can enroll into if you want to do the ACCA route. Do we offer that?
Okay. I guess that is the point.
And how does that differ? Sorry, the last part of the question is, if not, how does that differ from what we offer?
Okay. If you have enrolled with that program from VET, remember it's an ACCA accredited program that VET is running. You get that postgraduate diploma, you get your qualification from VET. Obviously, that is to say, because the program is built around the same thing ACCA does, it helps you cover the full content, but you're getting a VET qualification. But if you don't want the ACCA qualification, as we heard in the first part of the presentation, ACCA can exempt you. That same qualification you got from VET, that is the same thing ACCA calls their board exam, so they can exempt you. So route A, you can say, I have done this thing at VET, I got a distinction at VET, I know this thing back to back, so I'll just take that distinction and just register for the ACCA exam. go write the same thing now under ACC, so I can also then get the ACCA one, obviously together with my experience. If that was the case, then you don't need CharterQuest. You can just do it on your own and all the rest. Okay. Another route says, okay, I've done it with vets, I've got it, but now I have never really written an ACC exam. Okay. At the end of the day, that is an academic qualification. Remember, there's a difference between an academic and a professional qualification. The mere fact that you're doing that through university, the content is similar. It is taught and delivered in an academic sense. When you come to write the ACC exam, ACC is very professional. Okay, you can say what is the difference. ACC is far more applied. It is more catering for the practice of that. Okay, so there's a dynamics in terms of how ACC wants you to think, which starts from the initial modules all the way. It's far easier to pass a university exam than to pass a professional qualification. So there is some nuances there. You might say, okay, I've gotten this, I want to do it on my own. Fine, you don't need CharterQuest. But I say, look, it looks like I have gone through, it looks like there are some nuances there which needs me to dynamically understand how I'm expected to approach this content in terms of passing the real ACC exam. Then you might need us. That is where, if you are asking, do we deliver that? That's what we do. Yes, we deliver that. We do have the same program, the same strategic business leader, the same strategic business reporting that you would have done as part of your vet thing. We still have that same course running, but which we are teaching. We are not teaching you to go get some degree. We are teaching you to pass the ACC exam that is coming in 3 months' time. If you find value in that, yes, we provide. That's where you enroll, you join the class with others who are also doing that same module. They did not come through the vets thing which you already have. Maybe they have come through other exemptions, or maybe they have passed other modules and they are now ready for that. You all be in the same class. We take you through, prepare you to go write the exams. And that is what we offer, and that is where the difference is.
Hi, Lesefo. I hope that answers Nicole's question in terms of what we offer and the differences between that and CharterQuest.
I hope so too. We have 3 more questions. I'm not sure if you want to take them now or after.
Let's take the questions now, then maybe I will just close afterwards, hopefully.
Okay, then. That would be perfect. So Juanita says, what does 24/7 support from CharterQuest look like when you choose to study online?
All right. So what we say 24/7 support is that our lecturers and our admin team, they add you to WhatsApp groups which are available all the time. And at any day, not that because it's a Sunday or maybe it's 11 o'clock, I've sent a question. Sometimes emails, people attend to them during office hours. But now that you are on our WhatsApp system, our WhatsApp phone, you can send a question. If a lecturer is right there, the lecturer can take the question. If there's admin support, maybe you're facing challenges with accessing your course notes or something, one of our support teams will always be able to assist. Obviously, it might be 2 a.m., nobody's available, but as soon as possible, you will get a faster response to your inquiry or support via WhatsApp. So we will be available, and at least with WhatsApp, if somebody's not in the office during our out of office hours, we'll be able to support our students.
Okay, Juanita, I hope it answered your question. Should you have a follow-up, please let us know. The next question is from Tafadzwa. He wants to know, how long would it normally take to complete all ACCA modules through CharterQuest, meaning starting from your applied skills level?
Starting from applied skills, let me just come in. Sorry, what's the name again?
Tafadzwa.
Sorry, I just bumped in and I didn't introduce myself. My name is Valentine, 14 February. Tafadzwa, I'm Valentine. I am the CEO of CharterQuest. I'm also a lecturer. So I've been teaching ACCA for almost. Your question, how long would it take you to CharterQuest? Let's remove CharterQuest first. I'll add CharterQuest later on. How long does it take you? Okay. You heard from the first part of the presentation. If you just work around 3 years, okay? And that 3 years means you are really like this disciplined student, hardworking, starting from the applied level, obviously. Also, there's applied knowledge, there's applied skills, there's professional level, strategic professional. Assuming that you start at the applied level, you're a disciplined, hardworking student. Okay? Work around 3 years. If you are studying full time, then you don't have any other thing. I mean, 3 years assumes that you are working, you have to go to work, you have to study part time. If you're studying full time, and you could pull this thing off in 2 years, but you have to be exceptionally disciplined. Only 2% on average will do that. The question then is, how long will it take you when you do it through CharterQuest? We can't say as CharterQuest is going to take you faster. That 3 years is the average period if you are working. A vast majority, almost 40% of our students, they do finish or slightly less. They are working part-time, they are very disciplined, they are not postponing exams, they are following the cycle, they do finish. So you would be looking at something between 2 to 3 years, starting at the applied level to come up at the other end. Okay? That assumes you attend all the classes, you don't postpone exams and all the rest. A school at its best can only do 49%. 51% must come from you. And what's about 49%? You need classes, the classes are there. You need materials, the materials are there. You need best lecturers you can get. It is all there. You need to write mock exams, and you need somebody to review those exams to give you feedback. That is provided. That's all that consumes the 49%. Right. The other 51% says, I need to put 200 hours of my own time to practice a lot of questions on my own, outside the class. Do you have that 250 hours? Yes, if you have, put it in there. If you are putting in there, the school is doing it, but that's your own 51%. On that, I mean, within 2 years to 3 years, you should be able to finish passing everything first time. I think that is the ballpark idea. The vast majority of people, they take like 5 to 6 years. Okay? It comes in when you write this exam, you postpone the exam, the next cycle you're writing, the next cycle you're not writing, or you fail the first time, you fail the second time. That is what starts to make the process to look longer than really should. Keep in mind, the qualification itself, when you finish applied level, is deemed to be a degree, basically. That's why you can do the Oxford Brookes, which is a research project you can submit that you get a degree. And an average degree takes 3 years. So if you are thinking that there is some magic to do to get this degree in less than 3 years, really, really difficult. But you want to take it all the way, then you need 3 years, 3.5 years, all the way to your final module. So that's my answer to your question. If there's any follow-up, you can add that. Yes, Lisa, for the next question.
The last question is from Irvin so far. He says the other question about studying online was answered perfectly. Thank you. And then he says, why is SBL much more expensive than the other strategic modules?
Okay, why is SBL much more expensive than the other strategic? If you notice, yes. When patients, sorry, who asked this question? Evan. If you notice, when patients was presenting our timetable, if you notice, the only module where she took some time to explain how it works was SBL. So there are 3 phases. There is a pre-phase, there is a pre-reading, there is a tuition, there is an exam prep. The only module where she talked about case studies that you need to go through before even you come to class, case studies that will be done during the course. She took some time to explain that particular SBL because it's got its own unique. The way you teach it is very different. It's the only ACC exam that is assessed through a case study. It's the only ACC exam which is a 4-hour paper. All ACC exams, they are either 3 hours or so. There are a lot of nuances going on with that SBL that requires that it is taught and delivered differently. Furthermore, if you recall, when the CEO presented, he did say that SBL is a combination of 2 modules. 3 years ago, there were 2 modules, governance and ethics, and then business analysis. ACC collapsed those 2 modules into one. So it is the biggest material. The textbook is very vast. The number of chapters is very vast. The way of examining is very different from all the modules. So there's a lot that goes on there that requires a different approach to it. For that reason, that it is more expensive than all the other. I hope that answers your question. Is there any other questions?
No, there's no other questions.
What we answer?
Sorry, we didn't get that.
There's no other questions currently. Should follow-ups come in, I will let you know.
Thanks, Lesafo. So I think just to try and wrap up the presentation and everything, so from my end, the classes I've taken you through, so to register and enroll, maybe after this you want to register. So when you're on the ACCA page, so you can click on your Get Free Coach email. Once you click there, it will take you to our enrollment portal where you can get a free course and you can maybe register and enroll. And you can also book your exams. So if you're doing your applied knowledge exam, that is GT, AD, and FA, you can book to write at Rivonia or at our Pretoria campus. The other modules like your PM going upwards, those are assessed directly by the ACCA. So you will book, they're actually session-based CBE, whereas these ones are on demand. So let's say you want to write this at our Pretoria campus, you just come through, you book. You have an option to enroll with us for classes, add your exam fees, you get a voucher which you will come to book for the exam when you are ready. So you just come through here and then you will see the exams that we have available. So that's another option for you. So you can choose your level, you can see they go up. The only applied skills that we have under these exams is law. That's where it ends. Everything else, it falls under the session-based CBE. If you write at exam centers, under those exam cycles and the deadline of booking, and you can do it via the ACCA remote exam, depending on which session are they having remote exams or computer-based exams. So like how Raymond explained, everything is being digitalized, so all the exams are online exams. It's just a difference on the CBE option to say, is this the on-demand one, like the one with applied knowledge and this one is skills, or are they session-based CBE exams at the ACCA centers, or you write the remote exam? So that's around the ACCA exams, and then you can also buy books. So when you come to our website, click the bookshop option, you will see we have ACCA books. So we do sell both Kaplan and DPP. So you can then opt for whichever option that you want here. So if it's Kaplan, you can buy Kaplan books. If it's DPP, you can also buy DPP books, and we also have e-books as well. So that is one advantage that you have if you want to just order books from us. So to get your quotation I've just explained, timetables. So let's say you want to study the applied knowledge modules. You can study those from part-time. So you come through to part-time. I think actually under the ACCA tab, you go to timetable. Perfect. So it will give you a breakdown of the intakes, where to take these modules. So strategic, professional, and fundamental skills level, you select online or Rivonia. So the campus is where you can select or pick up they'll actually reflect here. So if you are an online student, you can choose the semester, you can choose the level, you applied skills modules, and then the study options available, which is the live stream interactive for this live stream option, and then you can choose your module, and you'll be able to get your timetable. So you will live stream every Wednesday, 6 to 9 o'clock. So everything you then be able to get them here. So that's where you find your class timetable for anybody who's planning to get started with their classes. So strategic professional modules, all of them, they run from Rivonia. Otherwise, if you're unable to make it, you can then always register maybe for the online option. Yes, so those are the optional modules that we have, and then you can get our modules here. All right, so that's where you find the timetable. So if you're doing that the first week after the exam week in March, that's when you start your exam. I don't know, I have addressed everything from my end. If there is anything else, maybe let's look for any follow-up questions or students who are in this in this room, if they have any questions, I will be happy to take. And we also took a little bit longer than anticipated. Lesego, are there any questions?
No, Mpho just says, please do not forget to give us Mr. Raymond's contact for the email, what he spoke about earlier.
All right, that's fine.
What I've done is I've sent you the forwarded to the email.
Okay.
So that you can just once send it
to everyone.
Yeah, send it to them. You just have to configure on the form submitted.
Okay.
To
all right, that's fine. So after this session, I will send everyone the email that we have received from Raymond, and then I will forward it to everyone who was logged in.
All that they must do on the set of other, you know, just specify something.
Okay. All right. I will also advise. Thank you, Lesego. There's nothing else, right?
No, that's all. They're just saying thank you for the session.
All right. Okay. Thank you. So the next steps, I'm sure from here you now know what next, exemptions, classes, and all of that. And if you have any questions, I've also put up my email address and Newton Chief address. We've got our WhatsApp line, telephone. I'm sure everyone will have my email address. Patients, I've been sending you emails prior to today, so also have my direct mobile number as well if you need anything. But with that, I would like to thank you so much for your patience, especially for our online students who waited for us, and also the students who came into campus who started late, but you were patient with us, and we had a bit of a technical issue. You were also patient. I'll be here to answer any other questions you need. Patients, if you need to register, we'll be here to assist. But otherwise, thank you so much and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you.